Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please do subscribe and hit bell icon for more technical tips and tutorials. Today we will be diving into how to minimize re-renders in React using React.demo. Re-renders can be a performance bottleneck in React applications. We will learn how React.memo helps us optimize our components by preventing unnecessary re-renders. Before jumping into practical demo and all those things, so let's see how re-render works. That is understanding the re-renders. In React, components re-render whenever their state or props change. While this ensures UI consistency, it can also lead to a performance issues if components re-render unnecessarily. Imagine a parent component that updates frequently, causing all its child components to re-render even if their props haven't changed. This is where React.memo comes in handy. React.memo is a higher order component. Higher order component is nothing but a component which comes by wrapping another component, which returns a component by wrapping another component. So React.memo is a higher order component that memoizes the result of a component render. If the props don't change, the component is skipped in the rendering process. Let's look at the syntax. We just wrap our functional component with React.memo, like let's see. We just wrap our component with React.memo. If you look at here, we simply here goes component logic. So this is the syntax to use React.memo. So we should wrap our component inside React.memo in order to prevent unnecessary re-renders. Okay, this is about the syntax. Now let's see demo using React.memo in practical purpose. Let's create, let me remove this first, sorry, and then zoom in a little bit. Okay. So let me add a component. So RAFCE. So I have added the boilerplate code. Now inside here, what I'm doing is I'm going to have a one button to increment the count. Okay, inside it, let me remove it and then add h1 where I'm going to display count. Let me add state variable here, const set count, use state, initially it will be 0. So next thing is button to increment the count. Okay, increment, and then upon clicking on this button, what we have to trigger one event, that is on click where I will be updating the count. Set count to count plus 1. Okay, so this is where, and then I will be calling my child component, that is this I'm gonna design in later part. I'm just using it here, my component which takes one prop, that is name. Okay. Okay, so now we are done with the main component, that is React.memo demo. So along with this, I'll be using one use effect so that where I'll be logging one statement to check whether re-render happens or not. So whenever re-render happens, our use effect will run, right? So I'll be using one logging statement to show you how exactly our React memo works. So I'll be just using console.log. I'll be logging React memo demo component re-renders. Re-render. Whenever the state changes or whenever the state updates, the component will re-render, right? So that's why I'm adding log statement inside use effect. So obviously whenever our state changes, entire component will re-render, which in turn calls use effect. Okay, now let me add our child component, that is const so here I'll be just using one log statement. And then this takes props, right? So props dot name. Okay, so this is, now I haven't added any why it is change my component. Okay, something wrong. Component, yeah, here I haven't added React.memo. Now let's see how it works. Okay, let me add this component to app.js React memo demo. So now without adding React memo, let's see how exactly this works. Let me start the application. npm start. Let it start. Okay, yeah, it started on 3000. Okay, let me bring that see here. Now see, whenever I click on increment, let me close this first. So if I click on increment, see, React, even though there is no change in properties, that React is getting printed. Okay, now let me clear it. Whenever the main component is getting re-render, the child component also re-rendering without even, there is no change in the properties. Now let me add, or let me wrap my child component inside React.memo. Now let's see, let me refresh. See, it's logged for the first time. This React got printed. If you see here, what we are passing is React, so it got printed for the first time. Now let me increment and then see whether it's getting printed or not. See here, only my main component, that is parent component, is only getting re-rendered, but it's skipping child component because we wrapped child component inside React.memo. And now, let's see again. See, whenever, how many times I click on the increment button, it's not getting re-rendered. That is, my component is not getting re-rendered. Let me remove and then show that again how it works without a React.memo. If I remove this and then now let me refresh, it printed for the first time whenever when the application got refreshed. Now let me clear this and then let me click on create increment. See here, see, whenever I click on increment, my child component also getting re-render. See, so even though the properties which we are passing to child component are same, child component is getting re-render. So to avoid, it's a performance bottleneck. So to avoid that, let me add React.memo again, and then this will prevent unnecessary re-renders. If you see now, first time it will print, it's okay. Now from the next time onwards, see, it won't print. Okay, it's only re-rendering the parent component. If you see here, that why it's printing is we added a use effect that is in the parent component. So only whenever the state getting changed, it's only the parent component is re-render. Okay, this is how we can prevent our unnecessary re-renders. Okay, this is about testing React.memo, which prevents unnecessary re-renders, so that the performance of our application will increase as we are preventing unnecessary re-renders. So now, if we are done with the demo, now how exactly the React.memo works? What exactly React.memo do when we use the React.memo? React.memo performs a shallow comparison of the properties. If the properties are same, it prevents re-render. We can even also use a custom comparison function, which if we want. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today's video. So this is how we can improve or we can avoid performance issues where the child components are getting re-rendered unnecessarily without changing properties. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks again.